I had never been in a place where we have to speak English the whole day. I remember going to lectures. This person is talking. I'm supposed to hear what they're saying, but I just don't get it. All my first tests, I
Oh my
failed them.
god. All of them.
Yeah.
Unlike you, I didn't fail all my
Okay.
tests.
Okay. All right.
But I failed one major, which almost got me excluded.
For me, the whole
Mhm.
goal of fitness
Yeah.
really, okay, there's some mental clarity that I
Yes.
have,
Yeah.
but also being able to do what I want. I should also mention that I like food a lot.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so,
And you can cook
so,
nice food.
so working out actually helps me to
Mm.
not bulk up too much.
Mm.
So yeah, about Comrades. So it was you
How
a
was
very
it?
ambitious goal.
Uh-huh.
So there is a part before the race starts where they sing the national anthem.
Yeah.
Then there's this song they play, Chariots of Fire.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then we see people crying.
Crying. Did you
Yeah,
cry as well?
no. There might come a day where maybe my strength is failing or
Yeah.
not, but
Yeah.
I want to look back and say, when I could still do it, I actually did it.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the YOUnique series. Today we have another incredible guest, our guest of honor, and his name is Sbo. I call him Sbo. Other people call him Sips. Yes, Sbo.
Uncle Sips.
Uncle Sips, yeah. Welcome and thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Are you
Thank
good?
you. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Cool. I'm gonna ask you a question that I asked one of my guests about first impressions. Because you know, when you see someone for the first time or you start interacting with them, there's always that first impression. So,
Sure. Yeah, well, it's just I saw someone who was very focused.
Okay.
Think when you came this side, you're already coming to do PhD.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're so young.
Yeah.
So yeah, there isn't so many. I mean, you would know, not so many people your age
Yeah.
with that level of focus. So yeah, that's one thing. And then I think with the hikes, then
Yes.
so someone who was also very passionate about keeping fit.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that was my
All right.
my
Okay.
first impression.
First impression. I think for me, I just saw this friendly guy, you know, smiling, making jokes. Honestly, I think that was a church, and then obviously afterwards we went for hikes, and yeah, just like you said about me, you're someone who's also very passionate about fitness and health, always initiating the hikes or hey guys, let's go here. Yeah, so I'm not sure because I only started joining this in 2019, but I don't know when you actually started. I don't think I've ever asked you
When
when
I started.
yeah. Has it always been your thing?
Not necessarily. So where I grew up, in the village,
Okay.
it's in a very hilly, mountainous. I don't know if you visited KZN, but when I look back now, so what we call hiking when we're here, it's like that's like going to see a friend because you go down and go up. And some of your friends don't stay very close to your home, so you would actually walk quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I'm used to to being high up in the mountains. So there's something when I'm up there which feels like home.
Okay. All right.
So, so
Interesting.
yeah, so that's the feeling that I get. So
Mm,
yeah, growing up, yes, I never had interest in exercise. Now I'm exercising. Now I'm
mm,
doing what? Because we were
mm,
working.
mm.
But when I came to Cape Town,
Yeah.
I think I stayed 3 years just going from campus to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And then in June, then I go from Res to Cape Town to take a bus, and I'm going home.
Home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was my student life.
This was undergrad.
This was undergrad,
Okay.
yes. And then I had a friend who used to be, his name is Victor. He took me to Rhodes Memorial once.
Okay.
That was an opening of a whole new world.
Wow.
It was in the evening, so the
Uh-huh.
lights and everything else.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, and then he was a runner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I couldn't run more than 3 minutes without stopping. So, and I couldn't imagine myself doing that. So we would run and talk and then
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think the mountains thing, it was when I joined the church in 2008.
Okay.
So, and I started speaking about how good it is to spend time in
Nature.
nature. So I found a church that really emphasized on health,
Health. Yeah.
healthful living,
Mm.
eating well, and whatnot.
Mm.
So then there used to be Sunday walks,
Mm-hmm.
where we would go up the mountain. So
Yeah.
yeah, that helped me
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit in
Mm.
with even with my studies. I actually struggled when I first came here. Coming from a village school
Okay. Okay.
to UCT,
That's a
and
very interesting story. I think you should. I'm saying it's interesting because I also struggled when I went to varsity. So maybe
oh
if you don't mind, just
yeah.
share what your struggles were.
Yeah, so okay, the first one, I don't know if anyone could relate to this.
Mhm.
I had never been in a place where we have to speak English the whole day. So
Yeah.
I remember going to lectures.
Uh-huh.
This person is talking. I'm supposed to hear what they're saying, but I just don't get it.
That's amazing.
And then, on top of my confusion,
Mhm.
someone raises their hand and they
Yeah.
ask a question. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so that's adjusting to that environment.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and well, we had the fundamentals in terms of physics, maths, and
Yeah.
whatnot,
Yeah.
but the way it was taught, we were taught by someone
Mm.
very patient, say, guys, this is very important, repeat
Yeah.
it number of times. Got here, someone says something once, and when I'm waiting for them to say, okay, this is what will be in the test now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I actually all my first tests, I
Oh my
failed them.
God. All of them.
Yeah,
Sure. And how
yeah.
did that affect you?
That was not so great. I actually
Yeah.
changed from mainstream to the extended program. That is
Mm.
what then helped me.
Sure. Did you change the following year or
No, no,
after
no.
failing your
Same
test?
year. I think
Okay.
after the first quarter, I think after was it March or April, then I
Mm-hmm.
switched. That's when,
Mm.
yeah, I found people who, oh, I dropped a few courses and
Yeah.
then focused on the fundamental ones.
Uh-huh.
That helped. I found
Okay.
other people were like me also,
Yeah. Yeah.
coming from village schools.
Mm,
So yeah,
mm.
that helped me. Oh, and I found a group which I used to study with because I was somewhat look. Okay, in high school I didn't study.
Really? Shooty, man, are
Yeah.
you one of those smart kids? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I came here thinking I was smart.
Eish. And then you saw
Yeah,
flames.
yeah, then it didn't work so well. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was the struggle was just mainly adjusting, and the
Mm.
volume of information was
Yeah.
just too much.
Yeah.
So I needed to ease in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we found that other kids were it wasn't so much of a big deal
Mm-hmm.
for them,
Mm.
mainly
Mm.
because of where they come from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was
Yeah.
the transition.
No, I can relate.
Oh, is it?
Ah, shame, I can relate because
But look at you now doing PhD.
I got it was rough, shame because
Sure.
Nani, when I first went to vet, I had gotten my distinctions and I thought, yes, I got this.
You are the
Okay,
it.
I'm the it girl. Yo, so
Sure.
what you're saying about struggling to hear the lecturer? Yeah, Nami, I also struggled, and I think mainly because of the accent, because I'd never been taught by someone of different race. So it was completely a new experience. And I was
Sure.
like, yo, guys, what's happening here? I felt like I was sinking, honestly. And okay,
Yeah.
unlike you, I didn't fail all my
Okay.
tests.
Okay. All right.
But I failed one major, which almost got me excluded.
Sure.
Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah. Yeah. So, oh yeah, you said that these walks, like nature walks, they really helped you in your studies as well, right?
Yeah.
How?
So, so before I started them, we actually used to study 7 days a week. Sometimes we would actually leave when it was it's a holiday.
Yeah.
We'll go study the whole night. In the morning, go to the dining hall,
Yeah.
eat, go and sleep. During lunch, we go and eat. Then we go and study again.
Eish.
But then the more it looked like the more we did that, the results are not coming out. So there were guys who felt bad when they saw us studying so much,
Aw.
but they are not. And then, but when the results come out, some guys actually got better marks than us.
I wonder why.
Yeah, so I got a chance to actually rest.
Okay. Okay.
When I joined the church,
Yeah. Yeah.
to also emphasize on taking one day off to just disconnect
Rest.
from
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. But
Um,
at first, sorry to interject,
yeah,
didn't you think it was a waste of time? Because even with me, when I was first introduced to church
yeah,
and having to set one day aside just to rest, at first I was like, "Hey, now
yeah.
this thing is chowing my time. I need to
Yeah,
study."
no, it was that
Yeah,
was the fear.
yeah.
That ish, my friends are busy. And I'm just here. So at
Yeah.
first, yes, that was the fear, but the results only came thereafter when I
Uh-huh.
could see, oh, something else happened actually before this. So I once had flu
Okay.
and I couldn't study for some, I think it was like 3 4 days. When I came back after the flu finished, man, I could absorb stuff
Wow.
so the amount of things I could take in. So it's only later when I look back at that actually I needed to rest, but I couldn't just rest. So maybe the Lord allowed me to get sick so
Sick,
that
exactly.
yeah. So and then there was one computer science lecturer who was very patient. Yeah, I've forgotten her name. She was a mother. So when she speaks to us, says,
Yeah.
no, learning takes time and you need to give it time. So you can't just one night want to put everything in. So
Yeah.
there needs to be rest in between and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that helped.
Sure. Sure.
But the resting, I could see my grades improving,
Oh, nice.
even without me cross-nighting all the time, which is what I
Yeah.
used to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
What convinced me actually that that thing wasn't working was the other night we study. We had like 15 chapters to cover
Mm.
for a 45 minutes test.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to the test. All the stuff that we covered last night wasn't there in the
Yo.
test. So,
Ish.
man, yes, as I could have
Ish.
slept.
Ish.
Yeah,
Mm.
so sometimes, yeah, sometimes it doesn't help.
Mm.
And I met some people there who would start the same way,
Yeah.
where there's a test or no test.
Yeah.
So After they
Sure.
finish lectures, they go for a jog or whatever. And then around 9 or 10, they study, they sleep again, wake up early in the morning, study. And that was their thing. And those were some of the guys who were chowing
Wow,
courses pretty well.
wow.
So that resting and working and resting, yeah, I could see from there
Sure.
the results.
Yeah, no, that's a very important point that you're raising because oftentimes people think the more you work, the more results you get.
Yes.
But that's not always true.
Yeah, you're not always effective.
Yeah.
I think maybe or even the hikes actually. So after going up for a hike, when you come back, my mind was clear. Because I remember when I said when we were studying, somewhere around 2, 3
AM.
and I'm so sleepy. Yeah. So I'm spending a lot of energy just to keep awake. So I'm reading one page. Hey man, I've been on this page for a while.
I know.
Maybe I'll understand better when I go to the next
page.
Yeah. So you are not always effective. So it's important then to rest and have other
Yes, no, I agree.
activities. Yeah.
I agree. So productivity is more important than being busy because you can spend the whole day being busy and not being productive. That's the
true.
point.
That's true. Yeah.
No, I'm so happy to hear that the physical activity aspect of life really helped you in your studies as well. Because I think when you're under pressure, you often feel like going for a run is gonna waste my time. I would rather use that time to study. Not realizing that it actually helps to clear your mind and help you with concentrating and focusing. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So now, when do you take this thing seriously?
Yeah. So I would hike every week. So I finished studies and I started work sometime in 2014. I wasn't so active then. There were times when I'm active, times when I'm not. So the work I do, I sit a lot. So
Wait, is it computer?
I did electrical and computer
Electrical. Oh
engineering,
yeah.
but yeah, I work in a software
Okay.
development
Okay.
environment as a business analyst.
Yeah.
So I would find that if I skip the hike on a Sunday, there'll be some pain that I would actually feel here at the back. Yes. And just that one hike on that one day was to actually last me for the whole week. So then I made sure that every Sunday I actually do go for a hike. Yeah. So I started my first half marathon. When was it? It was Two Oceans.
Okay.
I think it was 2008. I
Really?
I did 21 Ks with this friend that I was telling you about. So yeah, so I was used to be on. Then I got injured. Well, and there's a lot of things that you do not know. Even in running, it's the same thing. Sometimes we feel like we need to push. So we also need to rest as well.
No, tell us about
recover.
that. Your experience. Because that's very important.
Yeah. So you want me to tell about
Yes, like the mistakes that you made at the beginning.
Yes. So the mistakes at the beginning was we actually ran with no plan. The friend that I was telling about was very fast, so I would try to catch up with him. So my first injury, we were doing speed runs, and I was trying to run faster than him.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think something teared here. Then I was out for a while. Each time I try running, then it comes back. So I think I would just say that it's important to have a plan. So what helps me with being consistent and following a plan is when there is a goal. So say, okay, I want to do 21 Ks or 10 Ks in 3 months' time. Then there's a plan. So in the plan, there is like runs which you do slow, and then there will be runs where you maybe testing your speed. They call those time trials.
Yeah.
So, and those are different. So don't run fast all the time. You don't run all the time.
All the
Also,
time. Yeah.
some runs are, so now they will be like long, we'll have long runs where we run really slow. Then they'll recover the runs where we run even slower.
Yeah.
But in between all this, there's rest. Because the body also has to rest
Yes. Yeah.
and build up.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were times where I would just keep just pushing. Oh, I feel something, but just keep
Ignore it.
pushing.
Just
Yes,
keep going.
and then it gets worse over time.
Eish.
So
Eish.
so those were some of the mistakes that I did. So
Yeah.
there were times then when I couldn't run because of that, but I could find that I could still hike.
Okay. Okay.
So hiking has just always been there. Maybe until recently where I
Yeah.
took up this bigger challenges which require me to be on the road
Okay. Okay.
much often. So yeah,
Sure.
yeah, those were the
Mistake.
running mistakes. Yeah.
And what about the running shoes? Because it's also one important
Yes,
factor.
yes, it
Yeah.
is, it is. But you see, there, I don't know. There's a lot of schools of thought. Yes, some shoes are bad, but in that argument, I also see people running barefoot without shoes. There were some races, but I mainly see youngsters. So yeah, it's important to get a good running shoe,
Yeah.
especially if you'll be running for long,
Yeah. Yeah.
and also to know when to retire it.
Eish, yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they normally say for a new shoe, I've forgotten the number, but there's a number of kilometers you can put on it. After that,
You had to change
yeah,
the
so
place.
normally when you look it underneath, when the sole is eaten out,
Mm.
yeah, so you'll have to change it and
Yeah.
make sure. But there are shops though, which can help you to find the right shoe for the way you
You
run.
run. Yeah.
I think the Sportsman's Warehouse here, they do that. So they let you run and then look at how you land and everything and then recommend the shoe.
Recommend.
So that's actually the best thing to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Well, people say running is life, right? This is not something you just do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you want to do it for longer, then you would. It's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
The shoes are getting a bit pricey, but
I know they're so expensive.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so we can wait for those days when there's a good
Yeah.
deal or not.
Yeah.
But getting a
Yeah.
good shoe is
It's
also a very
important.
important thing. Yeah.
Sure. Just out of curiosity, how many races have you participated in so far?
Sure. I actually do not know.
Okay.
My wife was saying the other day, I went to run a race and they gave us a medal and I left it in the car and stayed there in the car. So it's like,
You don't care anymore.
yeah,
Wow.
so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know actually.
You've lost
Most
count.
some races really, even when I do run them, will just be like we were training. So
Oh
because
yeah.
it's a race, someone is
Yeah.
there to give you water. You don't
Yeah.
have to carry
Yeah.
it on your own.
Yeah.
Then there are races where you say, I just want to do this is the one I'm actually training towards.
But
Um,
marathons,
yeah, my
how
first
many?
marathon was actually when I was in Joburg.
Okay.
As I said before, I had only run like 21 Ks.
Yeah.
So my first marathon was Soweto Marathon in
Okay.
2016 or 17.
Okay. And how was your
Um,
experience?
no, Soweto Marathon is tough.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's in November and it's hot.
Hot, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's the route is
Oh, it's not
very, oh
flat.
no,
Oh
no. Yeah,
no. Oh
so yeah,
no.
I used to suffer with this thing called ITB. Okay, I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah.
there will be pain on the side of the knee.
Oh.
So it started, I think I was at 30 Ks. So the last 12 Ks I would walk, run a bit, walk.
Yeah.
But I was just happy that I
You
finished.
finished.
Yes, yes. But when I look at the time, actually, I did like 4 hours, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah,
I
that's
know
good.
now what happened.
What happened?
So those are all of the other running mistakes.
Okay.
So we start the race feeling all energetic,
Yeah, run
and
fast.
then this guy comes with a big pot bills. I mean, this guy can't leave me behind. Oh, this Makoko just
Yeah.
passes. No. And
Uh-huh.
then I went very fast at first.
They're trying to prove a point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that has been some of my mistakes when I
Mm.
started because the marathon is long.
Yeah.
So I went too fast, and then I think
Mm.
got tired, and then this thing also came in.
Sure,
So
sure.
I've learned over time to, let's say, you run your own
You
race.
are, yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
mm.
yeah. And
So
focus
it's
on your own journey.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So I don't even know when last did I check what position I was or whatever.
You don't
Because
care about that
yeah,
anymore.
so the most important thing really is how did I do compared
Mm.
to my previous
Previous
one.
one.
Yes, so that's
Wow, I
running
love
your own
that.
race.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone who passes you, that's maybe you don't train with them.
Mm-hmm.
They say let your training take you. So on rest day, there's no miracles. You only, it's like you're
Yeah.
working out what you've
Mm.
already worked in.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Makes
that's
sense.
that's that's what I had to learn over the
Yeah,
years. Because
yeah.
there's a lot of excitement at the beginning. Everyone is
Mm,
fresh,
mm,
going
mm.
up a hill at like high speed.
And then you get
Yeah.
tired
So yeah,
along the
that was
way.
my first marathon.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I think from what you said, I'm also reminded of this saying that says, never judge a book by its cover. So you see this Magogo passing, you're like,
They've been doing it for
can
the
do
past
better.
30 years.
Yeah. You see, they're very strong. They've been doing this for
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
so from all the marathons or races that you have participated in so far,
Mm.
which one would you say was the best? I'm sure you're
The
still going to have
best.
the best going forward, but so
Yeah. Yeah. I
far,
think the best is yet to come.
the best.
Yeah. Okay. I think my best marathon was actually last year in some around August.
Okay.
That's July, August. It's
Yeah.
called Blowbig Marathon.
Okay.
So I was training for Comrades then,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed to break that 4 hour barrier to finish marathon within 4 hours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's actually when I actually
Sub
that's one
four.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's one was flat actually,
Oh,
and
so
it's
you took
nice.
advantage of that.
Yeah, no, it felt
Sure.
so good
Wow.
to run at that pace for that
Mm,
long.
mm.
And yeah, so there's something I think maybe that's what I've got addicted
Uh-huh.
to. There's a feeling that you get when you are fit.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, it's actually nice. Um, that I can just get up and do what I
Mm,
want. As in there's nothing
mm,
holding me back. I
mm.
won't be painting or whatever.
Yeah.
If I want to
Yeah.
be on that top of mountain now, I can
You
actually
can
go.
go.
Mm.
Yeah.
And there are days where I would actually wake up even alone and just
Mm,
go. So
mm.
that is nice. Because
Wow.
I have felt there's been times where I've struggled.
Really?
Yeah.
When was
So
this?
so as I said, I have had seasons.
Yeah.
So there are times where there's like lots of activity, and then there are
Sure.
times not so much.
Yeah.
Um, so November, December, Christmas, whatnot.
Hey, festive season.
Then January,
Yeah.
yeah. So if I've not set things to work towards, say
Mm-hmm.
no, I can start in Feb.
Eish, yeah.
Or who starts in the middle of the month?
Let me wait
Uh,
until next month.
yeah, but the starting of
Yeah.
next month is not on Monday. Who starts on a
On the
Wednesday?
way, ish, ish, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
and then things just move, and then yeah,
Mm,
I get out of shape.
mm, mm.
And then when I do try to do stuff, and then yeah, then I struggle.
And then you feel the
Yeah, so
pain.
I don't like that feeling. There's a
Yeah,
feeling that I like.
yeah.
For me, the whole
Mm-hmm.
goal of fitness
Yeah.
really, okay, there's some mental clarity that I
Yes.
have,
Yeah.
but also being able to do what I want. I should also mention that I like food a lot.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And you
so,
can cook
so,
nice food.
so working out actually helps me to
Mm.
not bulk up too much. So I
Mm.
still get to enjoy food.
Food.
It's like it's a balancing thing for me.
Mm.
So because
Mm.
I love food, there I need to work out.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I do find working out enjoyable because now I'm enjoying both.
Yeah. Waking out and
Yeah,
eating.
yeah,
And then you said you're training for comrades. So
yes, yes.
you ran your first ever
Mm,
comrades
mm,
marathon in 2022.
yes.
Comrades is 89 to 90
But I
kilometers, right?
did 90.
You
I
did
did 90.
90.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
Okay.
watch said 90.2.
Okay. Noted. So
Yeah.
90-kilometer on the road.
Mm.
Was it uphill or downhill last year?
So it's actually they call it down run or up run,
Yeah.
but they actually call it a down run because where you start and where you end is actually you start at a much higher altitude and then end.
Oh,
But it says nothing about what's happening in
I
between.
see. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay.
there's a lot of very hard steps.
Hmm.
Then you descend, then you go
Yeah.
up. So if you've been together and it's hardly flat. I actually struggle when I'm in the village to
Mm.
run because as soon as I get out of the house,
Mm. Oh
then it's
wow. Oh
that,
wow.
and then yeah. So it was a down run.
Okay.
But yeah, the word down run doesn't mean that it's any easier.
No, thank you so much for pointing that out. Because now I used to think that when they say
People
down
are
run,
just descending. Yeah.
I kumnandi. You
You should
know.
come for a down run.
I was even
Yeah.
planning that okay, when I run my first,
First.
I will wait for the down run.
No, so people actually, some people say that they find the up run easier
Mm.
because the first, I think, almost 30 or so Ks
Uh-huh.
is actually going up.
Whew.
And then there's that and that and
Yeah.
that. And okay, so the up run is normally shorter by 3 kilometers than the
Okay.
down run. So
Okay.
down run is 90, the up run is normally 87.
Okay.
So there's those minor differences. But yeah,
Mm.
even I can say the same thing with marathons.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter if the route is flat or a marathon. They say marathon is a marathon. So
Yeah, that's true.
so it does get hard at
That's
some
true.
point.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so yeah, about comrades. So it was you
How
a
was
very
it?
ambitious goal.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, it was one way of just trying to challenge myself.
Mm.
I was just glad that I could be there at the start
Mm-hmm.
line because there's a lot
Okay.
of things that happen. So sometimes you're training, you get
Mm.
injured
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
training is quite intense. It's in another city, you have to
Mm.
arrange transport,
Mm.
accommodation, whatnot, whatnot. So we start in the morning. So there's a part before the race starts where they sing the national anthem.
Yeah.
Then there's this song they play,
Uh-huh.
Chariots of Fire.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then we see people crying.
Crying. Did you cry
Yeah,
as well?
no, no. Where I come from, men don't cry.
But were you touched?
No, it was. See, I've heard national anthem before, but there
Mm.
it just sounds
Mm.
different.
Mm.
Like the whole mood. It's like you're
Mm.
standing there.
Yeah.
You still have 90 Ks to do. Yeah, will I
Sure.
finish? Will I not? That was
Ish.
my first time, so I don't even know
Mm.
what to expect. But I told
Mm.
people, no, I'll finish within this time.
Yeah.
And I
Hey.
came back as
Okay.
guys, forgive me. I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, so it was like an uncharted territory. So before
Mm.
the race, I had never done anything above 60. So we did 60 as a training run.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what will happen thereafter.
Mm.
So yeah, there at the beginning, yeah, there's all those emotions and everything. But we're just glad that I'm
You were
here.
there.
Yes, and that's already is an achievement in a way.
Mm.
So yeah, and the rest starts. So there's a thing that they do. I think it helps when I now look at it.
Mm.
So you run 5Ks. The board won't say you've run 5Ks.
Yeah.
It actually writes 75.
Okay.
So I mean there's 75 to go.
Sure.
You run. Oh no, so not five. This should say 85. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now 15Ks in, you meet another board says
Mm.
now 75. Thinking,
God, that's a long way.
yeah, but at least you don't celebrate too early, I suppose. And then just keeps going down as you go. But we were told, yeah, so we worshipped, it starts in UKZN
Yeah.
the day before. So the guy was talking to us saying, there's no miracle that's going to happen. So as I was saying earlier, when you're there, you are working out what you have worked in.
Yes.
So there's nothing new that's going to happen. And we're told point blank that you will be in pain, but you just have to find a way to manage the pain. And so I saw on Twitter one of these fast runners complaining about how painful it was, and people were asking how. I mean, even you are complaining, and they asked him, "Do you think I'm made of steel?" So yeah, everyone goes through pain, but you just have to find a way to manage it. So maybe one lesson just from that. But sometimes what you see is not everything there is. So one guy that we trained with told me that for him, when he does marathons, he has learned to persevere even through pain. So in business, in marriage, and everywhere, it's not always nice, but still go forward.
Yeah.
So there's no other way.
Sure.
So that's one thing that you learn. That okay, maybe some pain maybe you have to stop, but some pains you can, okay, it's not getting too worse as you go, so just manage it as you go. But yeah, it was nice though. It was nice. So what I had told myself was that when I reached 60, so it was like anything that's happening now is bonus, because I had never done 65 before. So when I get to 65, I mean, I was already celebrating. Even if this thing was to end here, but
you'll be happy.
yes. So that's the thing. So the whole thing, when looking at it in terms of steps, it was like over 100,000 steps in one day.
Wow.
I'm thinking, that's and when you actually break it down like that, it's actually one step at a time. Until you finish.
Wow.
So there are points where it's so steep, because we're asking him, are we now hiking or are we still running? So that was something. And then the people would come also say, no, just take it easy, one step at a time, one step at a time.
Sure.
So I mean, I had that repeatedly almost the whole day.
Wow.
And it is indeed one
One
step at a time.
time.
You can't jump. There's a point where everyone is tired. When there's a small steep, everyone just walks. And then it's going down there, you'll see running. Or even those that are trying to run the steep, you'll be walking next to them. They're running so slow. There's this podcast I listened to with one of the past runners who had run it before. It's very gruesome, the whole thing. But when you finish, this guy was saying, actually, just look yourself in the mirror. Saying that guy can take you anywhere.
Wow.
So the feeling that I had at the end was like, so what is it that I cannot do?
Hey.
Hey. Yeah, it was like, cause it's a big, what's the word? A very ambitious goal.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, when you actually finish it, it does. You do have that feeling that's like, it's like you've done Everest. Okay, bring it. Whatever difficult, even if it's annoying, bring it.
You literally feel like you can conquer the world.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is the feeling. Oh, one other person was also saying that, which is true, that life, as we live it, things are hardly the same. So there are seasons when it's like you're all happy. There are seasons where things are actually difficult. So a marathon or that ultra marathon, there's a depiction of life, because there's somewhere you're going down, and then you then go up. They even say that when you are going down, just know you will go up. Yeah. But also when you're going up, you will also go down. Go down, yeah. So then if we were to equate the going down as the nice times and going up as a difficult time. So if you can find a way to enjoy the even not so pleasant times, then it's like you found a trick of enjoying life as a whole. Because really, okay, I mean, they were saying the same thing even when COVID started, that there's no storm that has lasted forever. So even this COVID is going to end. I mean, look at where we are now. It's not, but there was a time we didn't see will we ever come out of this. True. The thing with that is that even when you are having a nice time, it's not going to last forever. So when it ends, don't be too sad. Oh man, you've just taken something from me, because that's just how life is. And even when you go through that hard time, it's not going to last forever. It will end. So life is like that. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. So when I look at that route, when you look at the route plan, you do see that. On paper, it looks very easy. Yeah. But yeah, in real life, when we actually have to go through it, yeah. But so I would say that, yeah, in terms of life in general, I would say that marathons do give you that feel. I was actually going to ask you about some of the life lessons you have learned from marathons, but I think you already touched on that. So things are hardly ever linear. Things change. You can start in the morning, it's all nice and cold, and it gets hot during the day. Yeah, so maybe one other lesson is so it's one thing to have an ambitious goal, but then there are things that you need to do for you to reach it. That goal. So with marathons, or with, let's say, with Comrades, then you have to train. Yeah. So then it doesn't matter if it's cold, or it's raining, or it's too hot. I still need to get out. So it gave me that mental resolve that, okay, this is the thing, this is what needs to be done for me to get what I want to get done. So one lady that we run with has a trick. So when he knows he's going to run in the morning, he will put the running shoes, everything together. So it says when she wakes up, puts on the clothes, gets out. She will assess the weather and everything when she's outside. Because when you get out and things like that wind sounds too cold. Maybe if I give it an hour, or maybe I can do it tomorrow. But they also say that you don't know how it will be like on rest day. So rest day can be hot also, or cold, or raining. So any weather you get, you train in it. So whether it's in the rain or in, because what you're preparing for, you also don't know how it will be like. That is true. So Bina, because I'm on my own, I'm not very consistent or disciplined. So that's the thing that has given me to that type of discipline that I need to wake up
Yeah.
and do this.
Yeah.
Whether I feel like it or
Or
not,
not.
this
Yeah.
is what needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the end, so there are days, there are times. So there are days where we have motivation, like, oh man, I just want to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are times where it's not there, but still, it must still be done.
Yeah.
But one other very important thing, though, which has helped me a lot,
Yeah.
is training with people. So there are times where I'm in it, and there are not so much, but because we had said we are meeting at this time, so we have to go.
Yeah.
Times where it's like, hey man, I promised this person we are meeting. Now I can't be
Yeah.
changing. I can't be the one changing all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think in life also, life is not meant to be lived alone. So we do need each other. And in those training grounds where we train as a group, actually, so when they were analyzing it, say when you're running alone, the mind tends to focus more on the negative part of it. Oh, this kilometer is not ending. Yeah. Oh, what is that I'm feeling there on my shoe? Could that be pain? Oh, my knees. But when you are with people, it's like before you know it, oh,
Yeah.
we've done 5Ks.
Yeah.
So it does help. Working with other people.
You're part of a running club, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the Adventist
Yeah.
Athletics Club. Yes, so that helps quite a bit. And as I was saying, that life is not meant to be lived alone. And even on race day, some of these kind words that the people say along the way, they go a
They
long way.
do.
Because
Yeah.
like now I'm finished. This person still thinks I've got it.
Like keep going.
Yeah. So and there's
Yeah.
a lot of people. I mean, for Comrades, one of the things that people really love with Comrades, that their vibe. People get out of their houses with hose pipes, salt, Vaseline, saying all these things. They actually help.
How? So what do people
It's
do with
part of the.
salt?
So when you run, you lose a lot of salts, and that also can cause you to start cramping. So some runners actually have their own.
Okay.
But yeah, so it just to try to replace the
Okay, the
salts that
salts.
you've lost
Okay,
and
makes
to
sense.
prevent
Yeah,
the cramps.
makes sense.
I
Okay.
also didn't understand. I saw them there in Soweto.
Yeah,
People do that.
yeah.
Yeah, so that being together with things, I guess being part of something big. I don't know. I think most of us do have that feeling. And I think maybe the gospel also gives the same feel that, you know what, this thing, I found it here. Even if I die, it will continue. But I'm
Exactly.
part of it and I
Yeah,
can participate. So
yeah.
I'm part of something that is bigger than myself. It's amazing how just a kind word. Because there are people who say, bro, you look tired.
Wow,
Oh,
really?
this one says, it's like it's up here. It
Yeah.
says, Emma, why are you walking with a running shoe? I said,
Wow, like
my shoes are for
wow,
running.
you must run.
Yeah.
Wow,
So, but I'm
wow.
saying kind words have go a long way, which maybe in normal day-to-day life,
Yeah,
people are going through a lot. Just as we will see it, well, even in Comrades,
yeah.
people have gone through so much, but that one kind word,
Makes a
which you
difference,
share,
eh?
yeah, which you share makes a big difference.
Difference.
I've
Wow.
met people along the way. We don't even ask each other's name. We just run along next to each other, and there's people that I wish I can meet them again.
Again,
Because
yeah.
I mean, one lady I met, we're doing a 50K preparing for Comrades. She says that the reason why she starts doing Comrades, thinks she used to do drugs until
Oh.
2018, and then she stopped. then she started running. So for her, that's the space. It gives her that space. That is not, I can do it. Because getting rid of a habit is hard. And it requires
really
everything that your mind can conjure up. Even when you've done that, you still need God. And she ran Comrade once. She actually finished after the cutoff. But for her, she said, I left home, I wanted to finish, and then she went there and finished.
She did.
Whether she gets a medal or not, she finished it. So when I went there with that, say, okay, I'm just going to finish. There's a lot that people are going through. So yeah, being kind. But yeah, maybe the other thing I would say, building that mental discipline, because that's needed. Okay, I feel like this, but this is what I said I will do. So when I say I'm going to do something, I'll actually do it. Whether I feel like it or not, I'm going to do it. So yeah, that has helped me to build that capacity, because I wasn't born like that. So yeah, I mean, even when you look at, I look at the times when I sort of slipped away in terms of fitness. Because I was like that thing, no, maybe tomorrow. I do procrastinate sometimes, but yeah, that has helped. And so one other thing is, so when you're working out and being fit, so things can go bad in one side of your life, but there's that thing that not everything is bad. At least there's still stuff that I can do. So I cannot command everyone to do stuff. But see, when it comes to this body, okay, this one here's me. So I say I want to be on top of that mountain. I'm actually going there.
Exactly.
Whether I tell you to do something and you do it or you don't, but at least there's one person who listens.
And it's this body.
Yeah, so here I'm in charge at least. I may not be in charge of the whole world, but there's somewhere where I rule. And it's here.
And it's also so amazing how much our bodies can achieve. Because we often set limitations, to say this is how far I can go. But only when you challenge yourself and allow yourself to do certain things that you never thought you'd be able to do, then you look back and like, okay, did I really do that? And also going back to what you said about the importance of working out with other people, it has also helped me a lot, because now for the longest time I've always been working out alone, but it's been working. But now I've joined gym and I'm working out with other people. And okay, like you said, sometimes you feel like I don't feel like doing it, but then you kind of feel like you're accountable to other people. So you just show up even when you don't feel like showing up. And then okay, with lifting weights, you only think, I'll be able to lift this much.
This one is too much.
Exactly. But then with that community of people challenging you to say, no, we'll support you. Just give it a try. And you do it. You're like, okay,
did I just do that?
So it's really encouraging. It's really encouraging. Thank you so much for sharing the lessons, the life lessons that you've been learning along the way. I'm sure there's a lot. There's a number
I think
of them.
the one maybe I could mention is also patience. Running teaches you a lot about patience. Well, I mean, when you were saying, maybe on what you're saying now, that on your own maybe you can go fast. There's a saying like that, but with another person you can go far. So yeah, being patient with yourself. As I said, with running you do get injuries along the way. When you go back to start slow and build and whatnot. Even on rest day you can't just, as I said earlier, one of my first mistakes was say I'm feeling fresh, let me push.
Yeah, go all in.
But to learn to apportion your energy
Yeah,
accordingly,
yeah.
and work patiently even during those times where it's difficult. So yeah, so I think
Patience.
yeah,
That's very
that's
important.
one of the things
Sure.
that you build along the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sbo, I just remembered this thing. I don't know if you still do it, but I remember was it in 2020? I can't remember. Um, it was your birthday, and then you decided to run. Was it 33 kilometers? Because we are
Mm.
turning 33. Do you do that every year? And why do you do it? Or why did you do it
Mm.
then?
So when I went to buy shoes at Sportsman Warehouse, I
Uh-huh.
met this old man.
Mm.
So he says that he told me he just ran 15 Ks that
Yeah.
morning. I think he's in his 80s. So he says to me that for him, running is a celebration of life.
Right.
Like, I'm celebrating that I can do this. I have energy. I have the
Mm.
capability to do it.
Mm.
So yeah, the aim really is to do it until I can't do it
Or
anymore. So
anymore.
when I
Wow.
turn 70, I will still want to wake up that morning and do
70
70K. Yeah,
That's
so yeah, the plan
beautiful.
was to do it every year.
Yeah.
It is a way of celebrating life.
Life. I love that.
That yeah, I do foresee. I mean, if we live long enough,
Yeah.
that there might come a day where maybe my strength is failing or
Yeah.
not. But
Yeah.
I want to look back and say, when I could still do it, I actually did it. I don't know, did I do it last year? There's a year I attempted, and oh
Okay.
man, I couldn't finish.
Why?
Mojito was helping me.
Yeah.
I think it was last year. Yeah, he tried helping me. I think when we were around, we're not even, I think we've done only 20 Ks.
Mm.
I then had an injury. An
Oh.
injury that came from a race that I did 2 weeks before.
Oh,
Came back,
okay.
then ended up taking Uber. But
Oh.
I'm glad now I can run 30. Well, I'm
Okay.
turning 36
Okay.
this year, so I'm
Sure.
planning to do it. But yeah,
36.
it's celebrating life.
That's beautiful.
That while you still have energy,
I'm gonna
or
try
while
that.
while your limbs can still take you,
Yes,
just
yeah.
go there. Because
Mm,
look, anything can happen. I mean, we're
true.
on the roads here. We visited a home once of the disabled people. So when you listen to their stories, this person says, "Yeah, I was actually a business person. I was doing, and then I had an accident, and I couldn't walk anymore.
Eish.
Then that's where I am."
Eish.
So if that was to happen,
Mm.
I would want to say, when I still had both my legs,
Mm.
I used them.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if I see now, if I even if I had to lose one, I
Mm.
know I've used it.
Mm.
It has
Mm.
not just been stationary.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
really
So.
love that because I think that's also the life that I want to live as well.
Mm,
Not just only in fitness, but life in general.
yes.
That when
Yes.
all is said and done, like at the end, when I'm just
Yeah.
lying there in my deathbed,
Mm,
I just want to be happy and say,
yes. No. No.
when
No
I had the
regrets.
chance,
Yes.
I
Yes.
made use of the
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where there is somewhere where the Bible says that
Hmm.
whatever your hand finds to
Yes,
do,
that's
do
actually
it
one of
with
my
all your
favorite
might.
verses. Yeah.
Yeah, so any
Yeah.
opportunity that the Lord
Mm.
avails you, grab it with
Great.
both
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
So one of my how I think of success,
Mm-hmm.
and this may be a long-winded thought, but let me
Okay.
try. So when looking at God,
Yeah.
looking at when we read the Bible, we can see that not everyone will be saved. Actually, you get a feel that there is a large number of people that won't be saved. So
Mm.
comparatively, those that will be saved will actually be smaller
Mm-hmm.
than those that would not be saved.
Mm.
I think there's somewhere it says broad is the way that goes to destruction,
Yeah.
and the other one is
Narrow.
smaller, is
Yeah.
narrow. Yes. So So then the question was, would you say God has succeeded if he only saves 20% of the population? I mean, if I get 20% in the exams, okay, that's bad. But yeah, I mean, what do we say then about God? Then it's like, with God, he has done everything to save that person, even if they do get lost. So success then is not, you don't only measure it at the end, but it's how you take hold of the opportunities that you get. So whatever opportunity you get, so long as you have done, so long as you have given it your all, then that's the, for me, the success mindset. That whatever I get, I'm going to maximize it. Then yeah, so any opportunity that will come along the way, that's if that's your mentality, then you are already a successful person. You don't have to amass large number. I think people amass wealth because they actually took hold of opportunities. And there are people actually who amass wealth and they lose it and they get it again and they lose it. But it's because of how they think.
The mindset.
Yes, yes. So whatever a hand finds to do, give it your all.
Do it with all your might. I love that.
Yeah, so while you can still sprint, jump, do
make
it.
the most.
Yes. Because old age is coming.
And also life is short. Hey? Like you said, you don't know what will happen tomorrow. So while you still have that opportunity to live, then grab opportunities and make the most. Yeah. Okay, I think one last question, because I'm really enjoying this conversation. And we could go on and on. So as someone who's very active, you are running, you are hiking, you're doing all sorts of things. Diet must also play a very big role in your life, right? And I know you are vegan, and someone may ask and say, but as a vegan, what is your source of protein? How do you ensure that you still get muscle growth? How do you make sure that you get all the nutrients that you need as an athlete?
Yeah, so
And also, do you take supplements?
I go for tests I think maybe once a year. So where I would test iron, B12, which is one of the things, but a number of things, which will then show you where you need to supplement and where you don't. So yeah, diet does play a very important role, especially for muscle recovery after a very heavy workout. So yes, protein is important, but I think there is a misconception that protein maybe only comes from meat, other things don't have. So legumes, so there's some legumes that have a very high number of protein, although they also contain carbs and fiber and other things. Chickpeas, lentils actually even have more than chickpeas, percentage wise. Okay, we've eaten lentils too much.
I know.
Yeah, so there's legumes that do give you that. So maybe let me just say, for a normal person who's not working out so much, or just to keep, you may not really need a supplement. What you eat can give you enough. It's only recent where we bought a vegan protein shake, which will then I use just after a run, just to make sure that I recover quicker, so that I can go back and push some more. So if you are building muscle, yes, you do need to up the level of protein in the diet. So you can choose things accordingly to give you the best. So yeah, I guess I said I get my main protein sources legumes and nuts, and then I said only recently because of the heavier load that
Yes.
I put, because I
Yeah.
just need to be able to recover
Yeah.
much quicker so that
Yeah.
I can go
Makes
back in
sense.
when I've started
Yeah.
taking in extra protein in the shake, sorry, in the smoothie.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, I maybe I've been fortunate because some of my friends have actually had to take iron supplements and whatnot, but that's I have known also people who get their protein from meat who also
Yeah.
suffer from iron
Iron.
deficiency
Yeah.
because they have
Yeah.
absorption issues. So yeah, in my case, maybe I've been fortunate in all the tests we've done. Things have already
Wow. No, you
been on
are
par.
fortunate.
Of
Some
course, I
of
grew up
us.
in the village. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with taking what
Yeah.
you need, yes,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
most,
Yeah.
and making sure that you are able to absorb. But
Mm.
as I said, from what I've seen, most people struggle with absorption.
Mm.
So they would then say if you're taking, we once used spirulina. So spirulina has also very high iron as well, but then
Okay.
we had to take it with orange juice
Yes,
just
vitamin
to,
C.
yes,
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
sure that we're able to
Absorb.
absorb. There was a time when I would have said no to supplements because everything
Yeah.
must be natural,
Yeah.
whatnot. But
Yeah.
right now, I don't see any issue.
Sure.
So yeah, do the tests,
Yes. Yeah.
just so that you're not flying blindly. You know what you are lacking
Mm.
in,
Mm.
vitamin D,
Yeah.
whatnot, and
Yeah.
also making sure since you are now a gym person, spending
Mm.
some time also
Mm.
outside,
Yeah. Yeah.
that can help. So
Sure.
yeah, in my case, yeah, it's just the protein that I've now started
Okay.
adding in the smoothies.
Okay.
Maybe whoever's watching, if they
Yeah.
are running, so I did mention earlier that you lose a lot of salts.
Yeah.
So there is something I call electrolytes, which because
Mm.
when I started running, I
Mm.
would sweat, but I
Mm-hmm.
then drink water.
Mm-hmm.
But water doesn't have everything that I lost.
Mm.
And then you get to cramps and all those things. So it's important if you're going to sweat a lot, then
Yeah.
don't just drink water,
Water.
but we can add electrolytes
Electrolytes.
just so that things balance out
Sure. Okay.
again. Yeah.
Noted. I'm taking notes. Okay, thank you so much for
Yeah.
that valuable information. So maybe to close off,
Hmm.
um, what is one lesson that you've learned about yourself from your running experiences? About Sbo. Okay.
Hmm.
Since I've started this journey, this is one thing that I've learned about me.
Sure. That's a difficult question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've learned a lot of things. Um, Maybe I'll go back to what I mentioned earlier
Mm-hmm.
about there are times in life when I don't know if you've heard this thing about imposter syndrome.
Syndrome.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I really do this thing? Am
Mm-hmm.
I qualified
Yeah.
enough?
Yeah.
Whatnot to move into spaces?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you've trained, but you may still have that thing. Say, can I really
Yeah.
finish it? Whatnot.
Yeah.
So that has helped me in terms of that. I know I can do it.
Mm.
Um, Whatever it is, just bring
Mm.
it.
Bring it
Um,
on.
yeah, yeah. So that's maybe one very important thing that maybe I've learned
Mm.
recently. That
Sure.
doesn't matter if it's hard or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
but I have the capability
Mm-hmm.
to do
To
it.
do it.
I'm capable.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
may take longer than another
Mm-hmm.
person, or I may complain along the way, or whatever,
Yeah.
but I have the capability
I love that.
to do it. Even when I don't have,
Mm-hmm.
I can scale up and do it. So I mean, right now you can't wake up and go and run Comrades,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you can train
Mm-hmm.
and do it. So this thing then is not a thing for certain people.
Mm.
So where capability is not there, it can be built.
Mm.
You have the building blocks.
Sure.
We may not be the best at everything, but you
Mm.
have the capability. do it. So you can do it.
Beautiful.
And it can be done.
Sure. Okay, Sbo, this brings us to the end of our chat. I really enjoyed this chat.
No, I also
And I've
enjoyed
learned
it very
so
much.
much.
That's given me a chance to reflect.
Reflect, right?
Yes, which is something that I need to do every so often.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And I know you are training for your next Comrades.
Yes.
So
I'm hoping to learn more lessons.
oh yes. And come back and share. Yeah, so all the best with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Share.